Hi guys. Today I'm going to be doing my friend Anne over at In Search of Wonders classical music book tag, I believe is what it's called, or something along those lines. Classic music, classic books tag. Although not all of my books are classics, so with the caveat of that. Do I know any of the? That's not true. I do know a couple of the songs that she put on this playlist, or on this tag. Do I know most of them? No, but I like the questions and I wanted to support Anne, so we're going to do this tag anyways, even though I'm not the biggest classical music buff. Oops. So, the first one is. Also, please forgive my pronunciation of some of these things, because I don't really know what all of them are. Adagietto by Mahler, a tragic love story. And I have a weird answer for this. I'm going to go with the Wingfeather Saga. I can't exactly tell you what characters, because there's like 3 different couples that I could name. If you know, you know. But yeah, this was the best answer I could come up with that wasn't also Tolkien, because I have a Tolkien for another answer, or for another question, and obviously Tolkien has so many. So honorable mention to a bunch of Tolkien love stories here, but we're going to go with Wingfeather instead. Next is Minuet in G by Petzold, a classic children's novel, and I'm going with one of my favorites, Peter Pan. I adore Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. It is such a good story, especially the ending. Oh my goodness, the ending. It is not the same as the Disney movie. It is so much better. So if you haven't read it, I strongly suggest you go read it, because the ending, that ending. Highly recommend reading this book. Next is the Ninth Symphony by Beethoven, an epic and sweeping tale with ultimate triumph. I'm going with the Alon series. This is a 9-book Christian non-magical fantasy series. The the whole story spans a couple of generations of a family, and lots of struggle between light and dark, but the light and the goodness always wins. So I have loved this series since I was about 13, I think, 12 or 13, and I still just it's a little. Sometimes it's harder for me to read because they're self-published, and so the author didn't have the best editor. Nowadays, now that I am occasionally an English teacher, it's harder for me to read them sometimes, but such good stories and such wonderful characters. I recently listened to the author has put up the middle grade series that goes in this world on her YouTube channel for free. And so I listened to them, and oh my goodness, it was so nice to be back in that world and back with those characters. All right, Elegy by Rachmaninov, I think. A book featuring a second chance, starting over, new life. Of course, I have to say The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for that. Just Edmund, and also Narnia itself getting new life as spring finally comes. And yeah, Narnia, obviously, right? You knew it'd come up somewhere. All right. Next is Fanfare for the Common Man by Copland, a book that celebrates the simple things. I have Lord of the Rings for that, / The Hobbit also, just like Tolkien in general. And that might seem like a kind of an odd answer. The Hobbit especially, though, like, you can probably see it with the, what is it, what is Thorne's line? If more of us valued food and cheer over hoarded gold, the world would be a merrier place. Or something like that. Let's see, I'm going to try to find a line from Frodo. I should like to save the Shire if I could, though there have been times when I thought the inhabitants too stupid and dull for words, and I felt that an earthquake or an invasion of dragons might be good for them. But I don't feel like that now. I feel that as long as the Shire lies behind, safe and comfortable, I shall find wandering more bearable. I shall know that somewhere there is a firm foothold, even if my feet cannot stand there again. And that is really, I think that is really at the heart of Lord of the Rings, and like why the hobbits are always the heroes, is because of the simple things, the celebration of the simple things. So, yes, Lord of the Rings for that one. What's the next prompt? It is Little Fugue, Fugue. I don't know how to say that. Not a music person. I learned how to play the piano, and I fought my mom kicking and screaming on that. So, I can read music, but that's about it. I can play from a hymn book. That's about my level of capabilities. A book with multiple perspectives. Oh, okay, yes. I have for that Love's Fortress by Jennifer Ulrich. I believe this one wound up having 4 perspectives. It's at least 4. It may be even 5, but I think it's just 4. But anyways, I think most of these Doors of the Past actually wind up having 4 perspectives. But this is a dual timeline, so it has the modern day couple, both of their perspectives, as well as the past timeline. 2 characters from the past timeline. I'll say it that way. But yeah, so multiple perspectives in this one, and I think especially like these in this one they were all valuable. Sometimes, you read a book and you're like, why am I even in your head? I feel like I did that not too long ago where I was like, what? Why am I in this character's head? I don't get it. Oh, no, I remember what happened with that book. That was the Trainwreck book. Yeah, that book, yeah. This one at least does the 2 multiple perspectives throughout the whole book, not just introducing one of them halfway through because of the ending that I'm not going to talk about because it's spoilers. Oh my word. That book, I believe I read that in February. Maybe? Was it February? I think it was February. Yeah, so if you want to go see me talking about what book you want to go see what book I'm talking about, go back to my February from this year wrap up. All right, next is Chichester Psalms, second movement by Bernstein, a book set during a time of war or social upheaval. For that, I have Mrs. Witherspoon Goes to War from the Heroines of World War II series, especially this entire series as well. This is about Peggy Witherspoon, she was widowed, her husband was in the war and died, and she works, she's a WASP pilot, and ferrying airplanes between places and stuff, but then she gets to go on a mission at some point. Oh, and also there is an injured, like a guy that got injured in war and is back home and is not happy about being back home because he wants to be back out there fighting. And of course they meet and sparks fly, and it was really good, and I really liked it, and it kind of sparked my hope in actually enjoying the World War II genre again, because I didn't think I would like them as much, but then I read this book and I'm like, maybe I do actually. So finally, the last one is Summer by Vivaldi, a fast-paced and suspenseful book that keeps you on the edge of your seat. I mean, this is the easy answer, but I'm going to go with the If I Run trilogy by Terry Blackstock. I read this first book physically, and then it took me forever. And then I got my library book card. That's it. Yeah, I got my library card. I was like, I wonder what audiobooks they have. Or what if they have these in digital form? Because I wasn't even looking for audiobooks yet. The digital had a long list of holds. And the audio, I could get immediately somehow. I'm kind of shocked I could get this book's audio immediately, but I could. And I was like, well, I'll try that. And then I learned that I could speed it up because I really wanted to know what happened. And so I sped it up and listened to it real fast. And then I listened to the sequel real fast. And so that is how I read the If I Run trilogy. But definitely fast-paced, keeps you on the edge of your seat. Everybody always says, make sure you have the last book or the next book in the series as you finish it because you're going to want to binge it. Definitely highly recommend doing that. So those are all of the that's all the questions. That's it. That's the answers to all of the questions. That's what I was trying to say. Let's see. Who did Anne tag and who do I want to tag? By the way, I was not actually tagged. I just decided to jump in and do this because I thought it was a fun tag. I will tag Sammy over at Sammy Reads. I will tag Reese over at the Writing Songbird. And I will tag Molly. I'll tag Molly as well. Let's see. In the comments, you can answer all the questions if you want, or if you just want to answer one. Why don't you tell me about an epic and sweeping tale with ultimate triumph? Because that's my style of book. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.